Hi guys, welcome back to our channel Neki Stitches. Before we proceed to the video, I would like you to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Neki Stitches, and I hope you like the video. Then you like the video and share it. Thank you. Today I'm going to be teaching how to sew the blazer cape. I've already cut out my patterns. As you can see, I placed my pattern paper on my fabric, then I've cut it out already and added half-inch seam allowance on the sides. I added half-inch seam allowance here, then same here. I added half-inch seam allowance for the joining, for the center joining. Then at the end here, I added 1 inch. So I've cut out the lining already, as you can see. And note this: the lining must be 1 inch shorter than the main fabric. So as you can see. Then I applied a cloth gum at the center front to make it firm. I did the same thing on the back pattern. You place your pattern paper on your fabric, then cut it out and do the same to the lining. Make the lining to be 1 inch shorter than the main fabric. So now we are going to proceed on how to sew the back pattern, and we are going to start with the back. As you can see, I placed my pattern paper on my fabric and I've cut it out already, and the lining, and I reduced the lining by 1 inch. So to start, I'm going to be joining this center back using half-inch seam allowance. So I'm going to proceed to my machine now. Now I've joined the two back pieces. Look at it. I hope you can see. I've joined it. So I did the same on the other side, as you can see. Now I'm going to be joining the center back this way. I'm going to be joining it using half-inch seam allowance. After that, we'll proceed to the front. Okay, now I'm through with joining the center back, as you can see, and then ironed down my seam. I gave it a notch here at the cuff here. I gave it a notch so that you'll be able to relax when I iron it down. I did the same thing on the lining. I joined the two sides, joined the center back. Just the exact thing I did on the fabric, so I did it on the lining too, as you can see. And now we are going to be proceeding to the front. Now this is the front, and this is the side piece, and this is the front center piece. I'm going to be joining the center here using half-inch seam allowance, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. You all know. Then after that I'm going to do the same thing on the lining. And now I'm through with the joining, as you can see, and I've ironed it down, and I notched the curved area, as you can see. I did the same thing on the lining. Let me show you. I hope you can see. Now this is the cape, and in our previous video we were taught how to draft and cut this cape. I also cut out the lining, placing my fabric on the lining, and I made it 1 inch shorter than the fabric. I have my lining and my fabric placed right side to right side. Now the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to start from this end here. Then I'm going to sew from here to the other end using half-inch seam allowance. Then after that, remember my lining is 1 inch shorter than the fabric. So after that, we are going to start from the shoulder, and then you have this thing this way. You have it up like this. So now let me proceed to my machine, then I'll show you what we got. And now I'm through with the sewing. I stitched right round, as you can see, and this is what I was telling you about. I hope you can see. Then I left the neck open so that I'll be able to turn it from here. So I'm going to turn it now. Then after that I will iron it down. And now this is my cape. I'm through with the turning and the ironing. As you can see, this is what it looks like. So now I'm going to be showing you how to attach this cape to the main blazer. And now this is what we are going to do. I have the blazer. Here I have the cape, and now this is the blazer, right? So now this is what we are going to do. I'm going to be attaching this cape to the blazer. So I have the back piece this way, as you can see, neck to neck. After that, I'm going to add the front. This is one side of the front piece. Then I'm going to add it this way. As you can see, right side to right side, shoulder to shoulder. then I'll pin it down. I'll do the same to the other side. Shoulder to shoulder. This way. And now I've pinned it down. As you can all see, this is my shoulder to shoulder. Remember, this place, the right side is facing the wrong side, while the front piece is facing right side to right side. Now I'm through with the joining. As you can see, this is what I did, and this is what it looks like. Let me turn it so that you can see and be able to understand what I did. This is what I did. As you can see, this is the front piece and this is the back piece. Then we have the cape, as you can see. Now I'm going to be working on the line. That I'm going to join the front piece to the back piece at the shoulder here. So this is what I'm going to do. Now I'll be joining the shoulder. I'll be joining the shoulder here using my 1/2 inch seam allowance. Then I'll be joining the sides. Remember, when I was cutting it, I added 1 inch seam allowance. So I'll be sewing here with 1 inch seam allowance. Then my shoulder with 1/2 inch seam allowance. So let's proceed to our machine. You saw what I did. I was getting my collar, and then this is the main fabric, then this is my lining, and this is my cloth stay. Then this cloth stay, I'm going to be applying it to the lining. I'll do that now. Like I told you, I applied the gum stay, the cloth stay on the lining. I placed it right side to right side. I have to sew it right round. As you can see, in order to get the center, you're going to have to fold it this way, then give it a notch here, because this is going to help us. Then the next thing you are going to do is to turn it out this way. Then I'm going to iron it down. After that, we'll proceed to attaching it to the dress. Look at what we have here. I'll be attaching the collar to the blazer cape. So I'll do it this way. This is my lining. Then I'll place it right side to right side and make sure the center back is facing this. That I have it this way. You can see the center back, and you can also see the center back of the lining. Then this is my collar. I'm going to put it inside this way. And remember, I gave a notch here. Make sure the notch is at the center this way. You can see what I'm doing. Then I'll pin it down right round. Okay, so I've pinned it down, and you can see the way I did it. This is my fabric, then this is the collar, and then this is my lining. Then from here now, from this end here, I'm going to sew from this end to the other end here using 1/2 inch seam allowance. As you can see, I'm going to sew this way. Then after that, we proceed to the coupling. So this is what we have here. As you can see, I'm through with the sewing, so I'm going to turn it so that you can see. This is what we have here. And the next thing I'm going to be doing, as you all know, this blazer cape doesn't have a sleeve. So in order to start the coupling from the armhole, I'm going to need my pin. Make sure the seam of the lining and seam of the fabric faces this way. Then you turn it. Turn it this way and pin it down. Then you are going to turn it. When you turn it this way, Then you are going to sew around. You're going to sew it around. Then you do the same thing to the other side. I'll proceed now. Okay, I'm through with the armhole. I'm through with fixing the armhole. As you can see how nice it looks. I'll be showing you how to fix this because this is going to serve as the sleeve. So I'll be showing you how to fix it. I hope you can see. You hold it this way. Then from there, you're going to sew. I'm going to sew there. So from here to this end using 1/2 inch seam allowance. I'm going to do the same to the other side. Then after that, I'll come to the end here. Okay. Now I'll be showing you how to couple this end here. I made sure that I folded my cape inside and have it in between the lining and the main fabric, facing right side to right side. So now I'll be from this end. You're going to start from here. I'm going to start from here, then sew from here to this end, to this seam here. Then I'll do the same thing coming from this end. I'll do the same thing starting from this end. Then I'll come down, stopping at this end, so that I will have a little space to fold, to turn it up when I'm through with the stitches. Then you come to the side. I'll start from this end and close it up to here. Close it up to here this way using 1/2 inch seam allowance. So I'll be doing that now. Then I'll show you later how I did it. Then I'll do the same thing to the other side as well. Start from this end, sew it to this end. Okay. Now I'm through with the stitches. As you can see, I started after stitching from this side. Then I left like about 7 inches open. Then after that, I started from here, and then I ran down this stitch this way. Did the same thing on the other side. And now I'm going to turn it. Okay, and now we have come to the end of the tutorial. Look at what we have here. Remember, we left about 7 inches open. So I'm going to use a hemming gum in order to close here, because you cannot stitch outside. You can see this. Look at it. This is the cape. You can see what we have here.